One of the things that you mentioned recently was that you gave up drinking about 1.5 years ago.
Yes.
And you said it was the hardest thing you ever did.
Yes.
And I wanted to know what was so hard about it for you? Why was it so hard?
It's interesting. I didn't one day wake up and say, I'm giving up drinking. I just, like many Brits, had a very, very boozy December. Christmas time, I was on vacation, I was drinking a lot. And I've always been able to drink a lot. I think I get my genes from my mum's side in that thing, like I can drink. And I decided to just give up for January. I just wanted to do dry January. And all I could think about was having a drink. That's all I could think about. I was waking up thinking about it. I was checking the clock, when's it 12? And it just really scared me. I just was like, wow, maybe I have a little bit of an alcohol thing. So I sort of decided to punish myself and say, I'll do February as well. I'll do 2 months off. If I can do 2 months off, then I can prove to myself that I don't have a problem. 2 months go by, and I was still really struggling. I felt like I couldn't be social. I felt like I couldn't go to the pub and have a lime soda. I couldn't go out for dinner. I was really, really struggling. And I started to really worry that maybe I had an alcohol problem. So I decided that I would wait until my birthday, which is June 1st. I said to myself, if I can do 6 months without alcohol, then I can prove to myself that I don't have a problem. And by the time I had got to June 1st, I was the happiest I've ever been in my life. I could sleep better, I could handle problems better, things that would go wrong on set that would normally set me off, I could take in my stride. I had such better mental clarity, I felt healthier, I felt fitter, and I just sort of said to myself, like, why am I enslaved to this drink? Why am I so obsessed by the idea of having this drink? It's honestly been the best thing I've ever done. I'm 1.5 years into it now. It doesn't even cross my mind. I've found amazing replacements that I think are fantastic. I'm really lucky that all my friends are super supportive about it. I've never run into that scenario where my friends are like, oh, go on, just have a beer, like, you're fine. They've always sort of really supported me. And I don't want to be that person that's saying to people, you should get sober, you should get sober. If I could encourage someone to drink less, then that's great. But I don't want to start getting into the world of, you need to stop drinking, because it's not for me to say. I went on my own little journey. I'm really enjoying it. I'm delighted that my mum's has also given up. She's loving it. And it's been amazing. I can't believe the difference that I feel from not drinking.
I wonder for you, did you find that there's a really fine line between like, oh, I know I can drink a lot, and then all of a sudden you're kind of not addicted beyond that.
No, addicted, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to say, like, I was definitely addicted to alcohol. Not shying away from that at all. I think anyone that anyone that has a beer every day is probably got a little bit of a problem. But yeah, you're right. I would drink and drink and drink and drink, and then you would just reach that moment where you're like, wow, I shouldn't have had that last beer. And you wake up the next day and you have a terrible headache and you're suffering. I bought one of those rings that will tell you about your sleep.
Yeah, Oura ring.
Yeah, and it was amazing because I couldn't sleep. I was like, why can't I sleep? I'm working 14 hours a day. I'm doing 2 hours in the gym. I'm eating really healthily and I can't sleep. What's wrong with me? I bought this ring and it was booze. It was completely affecting my sleep. And since I've given it up, I can sleep anywhere. So I'm over the moon to be sober. I love it. Yeah. I've had periods of my life where I'd given up drinking and then gone back to drinking. But this time, I don't know, it was just different. I really worked to sort of change my mindset. I really asked myself, like, why do you drink? Why are you drinking? And a lot of the time, my answer would be to feel more comfortable in the social environment. Yeah. And I just put myself in those environments and just would force myself to be there. I'd force myself to hang out and go to a club or go to a bar, or go to a dinner.
Yeah,
and
so you weren't avoiding those places.
I was at the beginning because I didn't feel like I could go and not have a drink because of the stress of it. But then after a while, I sort of was like, mate, you've got to pull your socks up here and you can't just live in your house all the time. You've got to go out and enjoy yourself. And if you're only enjoying yourself because you're drinking, then you really do have a problem. But I just changed my mindset. I found really good replacements, things that I could sort of attribute to having a beer. I often found with me, most of it is just the ritual of cracking something open and sharing it with friends and drinking it. Whether it's sparkling water or a beer, I don't see a difference. Mate, I honestly cannot believe like the amount of times I've sat down with an actor that I've really admired, or sat down with a producer or a director and been like, oh, you know, well, I don't drink anymore. And they go, oh, I don't drink, 10 years. And you're like, oh my God. And I've had so many insightful conversations with people like yourself where you've heard their story, their reason for giving up. And there is a wonderful community of people. And I love it. I love being a part of that community. This show is about coming to terms with asking for help and facing your fears and being brave and acknowledging that, like, you can't do everything alone. Sometimes you need to, you know, seek help from people. So I really hope that this show can serve as somewhat of an education to people about trauma, about mental health, about how, you know, our mind is incredibly powerful and can sometimes do great things and can sometimes do terrible things. The things that I do is I just live each day, one day at a time. I am off social media. I only download it when I need to post something, and once I've posted it, I pretty much delete it right away. I've given up drinking. I'm a year and a half sober literally today, you know, so I'm feeling so great. I feel like I've got great mental clarity. I sleep better. I feel motivated every day that I wake up. I feel really proud of myself when I come home from a dinner and I haven't had a drink. So I feel really good. I feel really happy and safe. I feel like I have a great support system around me. So I feel fantastic.